Fiber Spider back again with another live stream for you. Nobody's here yet, but that's okay. Hope all of you are doing really well as per usual. Yeah. Um, and I'm still by myself, but then again, you know what? I didn't publicize that I was going to be going live, so it is quite all right. You know, it's sort of like a sneak attack. Yeah, a little sneak attack. So right now I figure, you know what? Oh, I see two people in here already and one thumbs up. Thank you very much. Hello. Um, I'm not what? Sin, I'm not what? Hi. I'm not what? Hello, Emma and Elizabeth and Dazzling Crochet Trinket Sandy. Hello. Hi. Oh, we got people's in here now. We got 77. Wow, that was a fast turnover. Hello. How is everybody doing? My goodness, you guys poured right in. Hi. Yes. Well, you know what? I did a live stream, I want to say maybe 2-ish weeks ago, roughly speaking. And I was thinking about, trying to make it part of my, regularly scheduled breakfast kind of thing. Um, Hello, Coley. I thought it would be nice to do live streams more regularly. I mean, I don't have any agenda or any planned thing. Um, love the crochet thing with Mikey. If you mean the live stream on Christmas Eve, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun. Everybody's all over the place. Rapid City in Pennsylvania. Lots of pain, sciatica, and trapped nerve. I'm sorry, Caroline. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read the chat. It's flying by. Hello in Alabama and the UK across the pond. Hello, everybody. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Yes, Christmas Eve, Cherry. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, happy news. Very happy news. We had snow. We had actual snow that required plowing here. I was very, very pleased about it. I didn't get out of work as a result, but we had snow and it was nice. No, I did not do snow angels. No, I didn't make a snowman, but it was really, really nice. Parts of Florida had snow. My goodness. My niece will be delighted, I'm sure. Oh, dazzling. That sounds really cool that you made the smock stitch into a beanie. Very cool. What's up? How are you? Hope you're staying warm. I'm doing just fine. Um, just been doing my thing. Right now I'm bowing up some of the mini hanks from Aberdeen. I thought, I can keep my hands busy while I chit chat to you guys. Crocus, you can send me all the snow from Canada you want. Go for it. I would be delighted to get more. Trust me. Um, so I like I was saying, I don't really have any sort of like agenda or plan or itinerary. I don't have any itinerary for this particular live stream, but just, chit chatting, saying hi, touching base, you know, and I'm probably going to mention it again later, but another reason why I wanted to go live is because I wanted to make an announcement that, if I'm not mistaken, check your calendars. Uh, Monday is the 27th of January. Yes, please correct me if I'm wrong. But on January 27th, Monday, in the evening at some point, I don't know the exact time, but um, Crochet Witch. She has a channel on YouTube, and she's going to be doing a charity live stream. Oh, Christy, thank you so much. So sweet. Christy, thank you, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Um, Crochet Witch, she has a channel. She's going to be doing a charity live stream, and she asked me to participate, so I will be participating and joining her. It is for an animal shelter, which I think is a good cause. And, animals, they deserve our loves too. So I'm going to be there. So please be there or be square. Yes. And so I wanted to give you the heads up on that. What channel did you say? Wait, let me scroll back. What channel did you say you got your sourdough starter recipe from? Okay, actually, VJ, I didn't get my sourdough starter recipe from a channel. As far as like to make the starter itself, I bought, it was an already to go starter. I got it from Amazon and it was, oh my God. It was like, never ending, everlasting. Um, I did on the sourdough video that I did do, I put a link to the, um, where I got the starter on Amazon. Now, as far as the recipe, that was Ben Starr, Benstarr. Crocus. Thank you so much. I'll take snow. I will take your very kind donations, whichever. I'll take anything you guys want to give me. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ben Starr, he has a series of really cool sourdough video tutorials, all the ins, the outs, the biology, the chemistry, the whoosy what's its. And I followed his method, and for me, it has totally worked. I have never had a bad experience. It takes a while, but you don't have to babysit it like every hour, doing the slap and fold method and taking care of it, every 5 minutes, which I'm not a big fan of. You don't get those really huge artisan air hole bubbles in the dough, which, yeah, it looks pretty, but you can't eat, a hole in a bread. Michael, thank you so much. Craigie Poo. I am not a Craigie Poo. At work they call me Craigers. They call me Craigery, Craigula, but Craigie Poo. You're skating on thin ice, Michael. I love you. Thank you. Yeah, so uh, the the actual starter, I did purchase that. I didn't make my own from scratch. You can. Basically, it's just flour and water and a lot of time. So you can technically make your own. However, I decided to cheat a little bit, but I have kept that same starter going for almost a year now. DSP, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Much obliged. Still working on the spiderweb pattern as a tablecloth? Well, I hope you like that, Tammy. You guys are so sweet and supportive. Seriously, big, big thank yous. And that is why I wanted to mention, the... Wait. Who said that? Bertha, you like Craigie Poo? A live connection. Well, I guess I'm going to have to live with Craigie Poo for a while. Thanks, Mikey. Thanks, Michael. Thanks what you started. Hey, Jax. How you doing? Sprinkles to the chat. So yeah, it's really quite remarkable to me. Bertha, not live but love. Oh, live but love. It could be live or live, pronounced either way. Who's he? What's it's? I'm doing good, VJ. But yeah, I can never remember the exact brand name, but it's in the description box. The link is in the description box to the sourdough, um, video that I did. Yes, the Craigster, that works. Farm wife, thank you very, very much. Actually, yeah, I mean, I'm working through TikTok of Oz at the moment. Fortunately, TikTok himself, he has not made an appearance yet. Now, the reason why I say fortunately is because every time I do his voice, I try to do sort of like a monotone, Dorothy, please don't do that. I try to do somewhat of a monotone on him so he sounds sort of robotic. Typically, I don't do voices. I just do inflection and intonation because L. Frank Baum did so many different characters. Craig Meister, I like that, Teresa. Thank you. Baum did so many characters that it would be impossible for me to keep track of which voice is which character. I mean, he did like 15, 20 some odd Oz books, so it would be difficult to keep track of everything. Um, is there something you want to crochet but haven't yet, Ruth? Um, that's a good question. I mean, I've done, stuffed animals, I've done dolls, I've done blankets, hats, shawls. Um, One of my favorite things that I did actually was a pair of gloves, and they're custom, because everybody has different size handses. Um, and so the gloves that I did were really cool. That you want to do like a weight of 3 or a weight of 2 yarn so that your little fingies can move. Um, but something that I haven't done that I want to do. I mean, I've done sweaters. Oh my goodness. Dazzling crochet trinkets. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you for awesome comprehensive tutorials. Well, I do try. Dazzling, thank you so very, very much. So sweet of you. You guys are awesome sauce. Like I always say, as far as super chats and super thanks and stickers and all that stuff, it's totally appreciated, not a requirement. Every little bit helps, and I totally, totally thank you guys. You guys are sweet beyond compare. Thank you. Yes, Christy, yes, don't forget to thumbs up because, yes, visibility is important too. You know, thank you, thank you, thank you. We got 146 people up in this house. Yoga socks. What's the difference between a regular sock and a yoga sock? Is that like kind of like a leg warmer kind of thing? Or are the little toes all separate, so that they can do their own yoga? Hi, Ada and Amelia. Hope you guys are all doing great. I've been busy. DSP is Donna. Well, Donna, thank you. I've been, as per usual, I have been busy. Uh, really not much, changes in that regard. Yoga sock have open heel, I think. Oh, okay. That way you can like, get a good grip on the floor. That makes sense. Um, Hello, Kim's Creations. An Afghan for his 50th birthday with a combo of the waffle and the even mouse stitch. That sounds lovely, Crocus. Actually, speaking of cooking, yeah, last night I needed some comfort food, so I decided to make a uh, tater tot casserole, and it came out so yummy, yummy. I had to refer back to my video. Tater tots and um, not pepper jack, Colby blend cheese, and looking for my tail. Where is my tail? Where is the little knot? There it is. Tater tots, cheese, cut up hot dogs, and chili, 2 cans, um, and jalapenos, and yeah, some onion. Good stuff, and tons of leftovers. Can't seem to get a handle on connecting granny squares. You feel dumb even saying that. DSP, no, do not feel dumb. If you give up, then you can feel slightly dumb, as long as you don't give up and you keep at it and you keep trying, then you're ahead of the game. The easiest way that I have found is, as far as connecting granny squares, the join as you go method, which is you do 1 full square, 3 chains in the corners, 1 chain in between your clusters, just a usual granny square. Then on the next square that you make, okay, when you're doing the corners, you chain 1, then slip a stitch into the corner of the previous square, then you chain another 1, then you do your second cluster in the corner, then you don't chain 1, no, you slip stitch into the previous square, into that chain space. you slip stitch into that chain space, you work back and do your next cluster, slip stitch, join, cluster, slip stitch, join for as long as you need to go. And then when you hit the opposite corner, you would do a cluster, chain one, slip stitch into the corner of the existing square, chain one, and then continue on. I hope that helps. And I have done videos on that. You know, it takes practice. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, neither was a granny square blanket. So, but whatever you do, don't give up. You can take a break, but don't give up. So let me go back and see some more of the comments. You love my voice. I hate my voice, but I deal with it. Continuous granny square from the center out. Hey, nothing wrong with that, Kim's, you know. Just looking at all. Wait, is Panda here? If Panda's here, hello. And hello, Lulu. Because I didn't see Panda leave a comment, but I guess Panda's here because everybody's saying hello, Panda. You know, well, I mean, I don't think anybody like actually likes their own voice, because you know you hear it differently. But no, well, when I was in school, I had a very high pitched voice. It did not change until I was in 10th grade, which is late. My voice was late to the party, and my ever so gracious classmates, they would try to get me to speak just so they could make fun of the sound of my voice. Yeah, it was that bad. It was a very, very high pitched voice. And then in 10th grade, I sort of forced it to change, and it just worked out that way for me. But yeah, I've said this before, that when I initially started my channel, I was very much tempted to do the tutorials, but with no audio, and just do like little captions saying, DC5 chain to whatever, but just write that at the bottom and not actually say anything, not speak. But apparently you guys seem to find my voice, calming, soothing, which is also kind of ironic because one of the last feelings that I ever feel in life is calm. I never feel calm. No, I always feel like I'm ready to bounce out of my skin. Oh, it's just one of those things, but you guys seem to like it, so I go with it, Yeah, Michelle, you hate your voice. You have a thick New York accent even after 30 years away. Well, I've been told that I do have a New York accent. I've been told that I don't have a New York accent. Um, you know, but I think that when most people think New York accent, forget about it. Don't worry about it. Hey, how you doing? Like, no, don't I don't normally speak like that. If anything, it's said like that as sort of like a gag. Um, what you up to, Craig? What you making? Well, I'm not actually like making anything at the moment. Right now, I'm just taking mini hanks that I had gotten from Aberdeen's, these little guys, and I'm just balling them so that I can keep my hands busy while I chit chat with you guys. Um, I look like the calmest person ever. Oh, no, no, oh no, no. If you ask any of my coworkers at the library, they will tell you that Darth Mom. We from New York don't have accents. Everybody else does. I guess you could say that. Yeah, you could ask any of my coworkers that I am extremely high strung. Yeah, yeah. I freak out at the drop of a hat, even if I'm not wearing a hat. And I don't deal with stress well at all. Um, do I read at the library? That would be frowned upon, as ironic as that sounds. No, I have to man the desk, and I have to take care of, the patrons, and, make sure that their books are checked in and checked out. And if they have a problem with their library card, I have to help them with that. The basic customer service stuff. But if I'm reading, it's like, oh, no, no, that is very much frowned upon. I mean, there are busy moments, there are slow moments, but always got to be doing something. Um, but if I were just sitting there reading, that wouldn't go over well at all. Talked about how people say, yes, Long Island. It's not Long Island, it's Long Island. Lawnguyland. Yes. Are you verklempt? Talks amongst yourselves, because chickpeas are neither chicks nor peas. Discuss. And then, of course, you have, you park in a driveway, you drive in a parkway. Oi! Discuss. Yes, that is a Mike Myers reference. Well, Julia, see, the advantage, though, of working in a library, even though I can't read while I'm at work, I get to see all the different kinds of books out there, things that you never even heard of. They pass right through my little mitts every day. And I'm like, ooh, I've never heard of that. And then I put it on my to-do list. And, and I've got access to, all of the libraries in the area. Once couldn't find a book in the area. Yes, Mandy, coffee talk. It's not coffee talk, it's coffee talk. Once I couldn't find a book locally, so I was able to get it through an interlibrary loan. Now, I live in New York. I was able to get this book from the University of Tulane. Okay, that is a trek. So, yeah, I mean, there are some perks to working in a library. You get first dibs, and it's cool. Libraries are not what they used to be, though. I mean, I remember when I was a wee sprout, knee high to a knee, where if you went into a library and your voice was above a whisper, you'd get the stink eye. Now, oh, people are talking on their speaker phones, on their cells, they're yelling, they're screaming, they're running around. All sorts of craziness goes on at any given time, believe you me. Have I ever tried meditating? Yes, I have. I used to take yoga. I used to meditate, and yeah, it's good, but I don't know. I think with the nervous energy, I would rather keep busy and do something than as opposed to like switch off entirely, you know? Um, oh, thank you, Sherry. Yeah, no more card catalogs. I remember when card catalogs had cards in them. Um, yeah, dazzling. It does sound like a nut house, and often it feels like a nut house. Um, I kind of miss the good old days, but libraries have to evolve with the times. Um, yeah, Carmen. Yeah, it can get loud. Like if there's a lot of programs going on, it can be deafening. Donica or Danica, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Greetings from the Andes Mountains in northern Chile. Ooh, you guys have the best yarn. Made many of your patterns. Love you and your tutorials. Well, Danica, thank you so very much. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Danica. Danica or Donica? I would say Danica. If I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. But thank you so much. Much obliged. Thank you, thank you. So sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah, if you didn't have your car, you couldn't check a book out. Actually, there's so many loopholes around that. If you have your license, we can look you up that way. But it's when people come in without their library card or any ID, then it's like, sorry, we don't go based on the trust system. You have to show who you are legitimately. As much as I would love to be able to trust people, too many things could go wrong with that. So it's like, no, you need to have something with you. Um, I mean, also, they have changed so much as far as what's available in libraries. I mean, when I first worked in one back in the early to mid 90s, um, computers were just starting to become used in the library, and we had just a couple of VHS tapes. Now, well, we don't have VHS tapes, but we've got aisles and aisles and aisles of DVDs and video games in every platform, PS5, PS4, PS3, PS2, the Wii, the Switch, the Xbox, audiobooks, TV series, various gadgets and gizmos that you can check out. Actually, I did suggest that the library get a Lucet or two so that people could perhaps learn how to do that. We've got metal detectors, sewing machines, Cricut machines. You could just take them out for free, like you would a book. Um, you know, things have, things have changed, it's, you could take out all sorts of whoosy what's its and doodads. Yeah, you could just take a sewing machine home or ukulele. We have ukulele classes. You know, libraries have changed. Yeah. Audiobooks are great for knitting or crocheting. Well, that's why I really, I like doing what I do, and it's kind of adjacent, me doing my audiobooks because, yeah, you can listen to my narrations while you're doing your stitching, have a nice little quiet time. Actually, there's a really, 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 really good app. It's a free app. I don't know if it's available to any or all of you. Is Gary here? Hi, Gary. Michelle. Oh, thank you so much. I want to thank you for your Knitcast on YouTube video, my go-to. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Yeah, we do actually, we have a whole bunch of sewing machines too. We have a maker lab, actually. What was I just saying? I lost my train of thought. The train of thought left the station without me. What can I say? Oh, you guys are so sweet. So very sweet. So actually, oh, Gary, if you're in here right now, and if you are of a mind to do so, the Crochet Witch, she's going to be doing a live stream, a charity live stream on Monday, the 27th. So hey there you are. Yeah, Crochet Witch, she's doing a charity live stream on the 27th, Monday, probably sometime in the early evening. And oh, thank you, Ellen, mentioning the app. Let me not forget that. So wanted to pass that on, spread the word, charity live stream for an animal shelter. Got to help out those puppies and the kittens. Yeah, so the app is called Hoopla, Hoopla, and it's available on the Android, Google Play Store. I believe it's also on the Apple, Apple Store. It's a free app. You pop in your library card number, and you get access to ebooks, audiobooks, movies, music, graphic novels. It is awesome sauce. It is a great, thank you, Gary. Thank you. Um, yeah, Crochet Witch, she had invited me and she wanted me to spread the word. So I'm spreading the word. Um, and I absolutely love Hoopla, because they've got a great selection of audiobooks and ebooks. Now, I don't know, oh, Colleen knows about it. Um, and it's free. When the item is due, it automatically returns itself. If you didn't finish it, and if you check it out again, it picks up where you left off, which is really super duper awesome. And I really like it, especially if I want to read a book, but the book is like this thick. Well, it's a lot lighter in digital form. Um, and I've been using it for years now. One of my favorites, and I wish I could read it on the channel, it's the Ramona Quimby books by Beverly Cleary. There's an audio recording of all of the Ramona books in one fell swoop, and it is so good. This woman does the voices perfectly. Thank you, Sam. Um, and just rehearsed crochet. Oh, reshared crochet, which is information regarding the animal shelter fundraiser. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. Um, because I love the Ramona Quimby books. Love, love, love those books. But they weren't written long enough ago. They wouldn't be public domain, so I can't read them on the channel, but I would love to read those on the channel. I really would. Just like I would love to read these books, the Frog and Toad books. These books I absolutely love. They are early reader books, you know, a little bit more advanced than a picture book, but I absolutely love the Frog and Toad books. They are some of my favorites that I grew up with when I was an itty bitty little spider, knee high to a knee. Yeah, Beverly Cleary, absolutely love her stuff. I mean, he also did Henry Huggins, and so forth. I mean, those are okay, but I love Ramona, you know, Ramona the Pest, Ramona the Brave, Ramona Forever, Beezus and Ramona, Ramona and her mother, Ramona and her father. You know, I've read them all. They're good stuff. You know, as far as these, the Frog and Toad books, these were written, I want to say there's like 3 or 4 of them, and they were written by Arnold Lobel or Loeb. I cannot remember how do you spell his last name, but they are very chill. Oh, Crystal, that's okay. It's Hoopla, Hoopla. Uh, yes, well, I did start reading The Wind in the Willows, but I never got a chance to finish it yet. But eventually I will. You know how it is. Um, But yeah, Arnold Lobel or Loeb, I can never remember. But the Frog and Toad books, they're very chill, they're very subdued. You can finish one in no time at all, but they're warm and fuzzy, you know. They're they got a really good feel good vibe, you know. Frog and Toad, they're friends, they have little adventures, you know. It's very chill, and the illustrations are very pretty and very subdued. Sort of reminds me of the series Kipper. It's this orange dog, and he's got you know, a couple of other animal friends, a pig and a Scotty dog with a Scottish accent. Um, and it's a very chill and subdued series. It was animated on Nick Jr., I think, and also there's a whole series of books. Kipper, really, really cute, very adorable. Yes, I'm gonna be 46 next month, and I still love children's books. What can I say? You know, I like kids' books. You know, they're playful. They are uh, better than daytime TV. You know, I like them. You know, I mean, another series I would love to do. I have done a like maybe 1 or 2 stories of Beatrix Potter, but I would love to do The Borrowers. But again, I think that that one is not old enough yet. I don't think those are public domain. But yes, Crystal Kipper is adorable. Well, Jolene, I'm happy that even though you're 60, you still love children's books because, you know, I kind of think they keep us young. It's like um, uh, I may be, you know, middle-aged, but, you know, that doesn't mean I'm mature. You know, I may be, you know, chronologically old, but my maturity level is questionable. Stitching group that meets at my library. Well, I think that there is occasionally. Sometimes they actually do like an actual class, like a tutorial at the library, but they also have a stitching group where it's just bring your own project and have, if you'll excuse my language, a stitch and bitch, essentially, um, where you know you bring in whatever it is that you're working on. If you're having problems with your project, maybe somebody in the group knows, you know, how to fix your problem. But yeah, it's just, you know, BYOY, you know, bring your own yarn or bring your own whip kind of thing. And, you know, just work on whatever project you're working on. And, you know, you sit together and you chit chat and, you know, everybody working on some sort of stitchy project. Um, Lenora Mattingly Weber books in the Benny Malone series. Never heard of it. Yes, Jackie, libraries have very much changed. Little Brown Bear. I know of Little Bear. That's Marie Sendak, I believe. Madeline, Clifford Dog, um, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Phantom Tollbooth is awesome. So you're going into a little bit of Roald Dahl books. Oh my God, I wish I could read those on the channel. I would get copyright smacked in no time. Um, but, I mean, The Phantom Tollbooth, I think even that's too new. Um, but, that's why I have to go with, Hans Christian Andersen, Ada, exactly. Um, Hans Christian Andersen, the Brothers Grimm, Andrew Lang, I have to go with the old stuff, otherwise I will get smacked, by a copyright, which I don't know about you, but I don't want that happening. Crocus, 46. It may not be old, but I feel old. Okay. Hi, Charlotte. You know, I I know the really good author, Jan Brett. If you want a good snuggly picture book, Jan Brett does some really awesome books. Um, One of them, it's called The Sock. I think there's another one called The Mitten, where you have somebody lost a mitten in the woods, and then you see a mouse. He finds the sock and he goes in. We're talking about children's books, Charlotte. Um, so, he um, the little mouse goes into the sock and he, is burrowing in there and keeping warm in the snow. And then like a bunny rabbit comes and he says, "Oh, can I join you?" Um, no, Charlotte, I'm not writing a book. We're just talking about books we like. Um, and so the bunny comes along and says, "Oh, can I join you, Mr. Mouse?" And then so there's a mouse and a bunny in the sock, and then before you know it, there's like a fox and a squirrel and a badger, and then eventually a bear is like, "Oh, can I join you?" And then they all get squooshed into the mitten, and then like the mitten just says, "Nope, not having it anymore," and they all come flying out of it, you know it's cute. Yeah, it's Jan Brett wrote those, and the illustrations are so adorable. Mandy, glad you remember that one. How old does a book have to be considered public domain? All right, the the amount of time, it varies. Sometimes they renew the copyright. So sometimes, even though that it's been written eons and eons ago, sometimes the copyright has been renewed. But typically, I want to say it's like 70 years past the uh, since the death of the author. I think it's something along those lines. If somebody can fact check me real quick. Also, of course, it does vary from country to country, because something that might be public domain in one country might not be public domain in the US. Um, I did do a latch hook video, Sherry. I haven't done one in a really long time. You know, not a big reader. Well, no time better than the present. Pick up a book, public domain. Cool thing about those is that you can find public domain books online for free to download, no problem. LibriVox, I think, does those as well. The Five Chinese Brothers. Yes, I do remember that one. Yes, we did Libby too, but I think they aren't using that anymore. Um, Sheila, no, I'm not frogging anything. Actually, I'm taking mini hanks from Aberdeen's and I'm just balling them up. You know, um, uh, Project Gutenberg. Yes, that's another good one. And you can get public domain books for free to read in like a PDF file, no problem. Doesn't cost a thing. You know, it's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there was something to do with Libby at my library. Uh, Neverending Story, it has to be old enough where it's public domain. If it's public domain, it's fair game. Otherwise, it has to be typically written in the, at least, the 1800s, early 1900s. I mean, the Wizard of Oz books, those were written 95 years after publication or 70 years after the death of the author. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so very much. Yeah, so 95 years after it's been published. So if it's anything that's been written in our lifetimes. No. Um, so, I mean, that gives you an idea of just how long a book has to have been published ago in order for me to be able to read it on the channel. I mean, the Wizard of Oz books, those were written turn of the century, as in like the 20th century, not this century, um, which still feels odd. I mean, I was born 1979, um, and it's technically last century. This century's only been going on for, what, 25 years now, but a lot of us we've already surpassed that one, didn't we? Um, but yeah, you know, um, Hola, the Shell Chronicles. Oh, thank you. Jane Eyre. Actually, I think no, it wasn't Jane Eyre. It was it Wuthering Heights I started? I mean, I there was a lot of books. I admit that there are a lot of books that I started but never finished on the channel. Dracula, The Wind in the Willows, The Little Women. I thought there was Jane Eyre. Pride and Prejudice. Ah, yes. Um, uh, Portrait of Dorian Gray. I admit it. I admit it. There are a lot of books that I've started, but I haven't finished. You know, um, it's tricky for me because sometimes it's not that I lose interest, but I lose steam, so to speak. You know, but you know what? Because you guys are awesome sauce, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek of what is coming out tomorrow for the tutorial. Yes, and well, you know what? Admittedly, it has been a hot minute since I have done these kinds of tutorials, but I decided that it was high time to do loom knitting again. Yes. And so tomorrow, it's hard to believe, but no, tomorrow, going to be doing a loom knitting tutorial. It's been a while, and so I'm going to show you guys how to do the garter stitch. Really, really easy. It's only a 2-row repeat, and so many of the videos, they show you working uh, 2 strands of a worsted held together to create like a really thick fabric, but I wanted this to have some drape, so I just used 1 strand of Pound of Love in the colorway of Heather Rose, and I love the drape on this. This would make a lovely scarf, and it's not so holey or lacy that it wouldn't be practical. So yeah, I'm going to show you, for those of you that are interested in seeing it, show you how to do the garter stitch. And so I've been fiddling around with loom knitting a bit. Thought it was high time that I do more of that. It's been, I want to say, like 4 years since I did a loom knitting video. And the one that I have done is how to loom knit a hat. Um, do I have any videos on mosaic crochet? I don't believe I do. I think I've done mosaic knitting, and I did an interlocking um, crochet tutorial, which is sort of like mosaic, but not exactly. Eventually, I would like to. I mean, there's a million and one things always to do. But yeah, so loom knit. And the neat thing is that that stitch can be done on one of these round looms, or it can be done on a straight loom, like one of the long looms. It could be done on either because you're just working back and forth. You're not going around in an actual circle. You're going across a number of pegs and then doubling back and then doubling back and doubling back. So the only limitation as far as the width of your piece is the number of pegs. For my example, I just used this little guy here, which is a 24 peg. But I mean, if you want to go super duper crazy, you could technically use this entire loom if you want to, and go from one point all the way around and then double back, and then double back again. Like if you want a nice wide piece, you totally can do that. And also, one of the neat things is I show you how to do a slip stitch edge. So you could do strips of this and then sew them together very nicely, if you don't have a really big loom. So there are options. So just putting it out there, that's my little sneak peek for you for today, for what it's worth. I just thought it would be nice to do some loom knitting because I know that a lot of you are not fans of actual knitting, and I get that. Traditional knitting can be intimidating and daunting to some people. I understand that. Loom knit a washcloth. Well, technically, you could totally do a washcloth with that stitch. Um, so I thought, try to accommodate non-knitters with some loom knitting, you know. Um, do I knit? Yes, Tony, I do knit. How do you tension the yarn keeps slipping? Very frustrating. Yeah, well, I do regular knitting, I do loom knitting, I do all sorts of stuff. So how do I tension the yarn keep slipping? Um, well, I mean, okay, if you knit with the working yarn in your left hand, yeah, I've tried that. I find it very frustrating. So what I do is I have the working yarn in my right hand, and that works for me best, in my opinion. Um, and Jennifer, what time tomorrow? Probably the tutorial will probably be like at around noon or so. Um, so yeah, there's English and then there's continental. Again, it's one of those things I can never remember which is which. One of them is you work the yarn with your left hand. Another one is you work the yarn with your right hand. I'm a righty, so I work the yarn with my right hand. Um, so have I ever tried a sock loom? If you mean like one where like the pegs are like really, really close together, I have, and I find it really frustrating because it's difficult to work that one. Um, English is throw, continental is picking or with the left hand. So then I would be English, throwing with the right hand then, I guess. Tony, you are so very, very welcome. What a day, huh? Um, so yeah, I've just been busy, busy, busy doing my thing. English style, Jolie. Okay, yeah, I can never remember because I just do what I do, you know. I just, wrap the yarn with my right hand and deal with it that way. Some people they say that it's faster to do the yarn in your left hand, but if I can't seem to get the tension right because I'm a righty, and if I'm trying to work the tension on my left hand, it doesn't actually go faster for me. It's just more frustrating. So, you know, um, but at one point I was doing Fair Isle knitting where, because you're working two colors with Fair Isle knitting at the same time, so I would actually hold one yarn color in one hand, one yarn color in the other hand. That got complicated. Let's see, wait. Um, Elizabeth, you have a heddle loom going to send to you. Oh, you don't have to send me nothing. That would be absolutely really sweet, but you don't have to send me anything. Actually, I do have a rigid heddle loom, but I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere. And I did get another loom, actually. Um, and I'll go into that when I learn how to use it properly. I'll go into that. And let's see, what needles do you recommend for a beginner? Well, it depends on your tension and your gauge. I mean, if you're using a worsted weight of yarn, like a pound of love or super saver, for me, I would say like a size 9-ish. You don't want to go too tight because you'll get really frustrated. Um, so like on the yarn band, it suggests, for instance, on here, it says a recommended size of needle, a size 8. Now, oh, well, Elizabeth, I mean, if you went to an SCA event, you if you don't know how, research, try it. You might like it. I mean, if you want to send it, I'm not going to say no, but I mean, you don't have to. Try to learn how to use it first. It's a lot of fun. Um, so this has a size 8 knitting needle. Now, if I tried to use a size 8 with this yarn, it would be pretty tight because I have a very tight tension. So I would use personally with this yarn like a size 9 or a 10, depending upon what kind of stitch I was doing. Try. Oh, Elizabeth, don't go ugh. Just, give it a whirl. You might find you really like it, and I don't want to take something away from you that you might really like, but if you find that it's not your Jimmy Jam, okay, so then it's not your Jimmy Jam. Um, yes, Christina, Russ from It's Raining Yarn, he's been crying about how Joann's might be closing down. I'm okay with that for the most part. Um, and yes, Danica, Chow Goos are awesome. Um, Um, I heard that Joann's might be closing. It really doesn't affect me much because I haven't been to their store in a very long time anyway. Um, yes, Teresa. Yeah, spring is awesome with so many different crafts and techniques. She's spring is awesome. Check her out. Spring the fiber enthusiast. Um, who's he what's Yeah, I haven't been to a Joann's in years since, oh my gosh, it's been like easily 5 years since I've been to a Joann's. Nothing against them. It's just there isn't one nearby, so I just haven't been. And the one that was near-ish by, um, they closed that one down. And the only one, the closest one to me is like maybe an hour away. I'm not going that far for yarn. No, not if I can help it. You know, I go to Michael's. I go to Walmart. That's fine with me. Now, if Michael's closed out, then I'd be upset because that one, it's like 15 minutes away from me, convenient. Um, as far as what kinds of needles, yes, Xiaogus, I would totally recommend those. Also, I find personally that as far as knitting goes, straight needles where there's like the cap at the end and then the point at the other end, I find those frustrating. To me, the easiest ones to use are circular. That's my opinion, where it's two needles and they're joined together by a cable. Those I really like using. I find those the easiest to use, and you can technically work in the round or you can work a flat piece, either or. Very, very, convenient that way. And the Xiaogus, I absolutely love those. The cords don't get kinked and tangled and funky. Um, and there's a ton of different lengths involved. So I would recommend circulars. The Chaugas are really good. The first ones that I ever used were the Clover Takumi. Those were bamboo. Those are good if you're just starting and you're afraid that the stitches are going to slip off, because with bamboo needles, the yarn, it's not going to slide off without you wanting it to. The bamboo grips the yarn pretty well. But if you want to knit faster and you're comfortable with the knitting process, then I would suggest using the metal Chiaogus, um, because the yarn, it slides really nice and easy. What do I mean by public domain? It means that the copyright is no longer active and it's open to anybody who wants to, read it or whatever. It's basically free to anybody and everybody. Um, Still waiting for my mom's cheesecake recipe, please. Ashley, I know, I'm sorry. I've been I've been a bad little spider, and I apologize for that. It is on the to-do list like so many other things. My suggestion on Tunisian hooks. Um, I think Xiaogu does Tunisian hooks as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think I have Tunisians. I think so. But I would recommend whatever kind of Tunisian hooks that you use, Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Chaogos. With Tunisians, you would want to use ones that can have cables attached to them. That way you can make the piece as long as you want to. So cabled Tunisian crochet hooks are the route to go. Oh, Urban, Gary, it's okay. You know, I'm resilient. All right, Sherry, you have a good weekend. Xanth series by Ricky Salinas. Not familiar with them. Yes, yes, Teresa, you are so very right. You know, Michael at MDL Crochet, he is all about the Tunisian. You know, he knows far more about Tunisian crocheting than I do, by all means. You know, my go-to Tunisian crochet hooks. I think it's the Chiagos that I have. Like I said, it's been a while since I've used them, so I'm a little bit fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure that they're Chiagos. Been a while. But yeah, if you ever have any questions, go to MDL Crochet. Um, yarn dyeing, I haven't done that in ages. I've been so torn in 50 million different directions. Yes, I would love to do more yarn spinning, more yarn dyeing. Yeah, I would. Um, oh, Michael, do not apologize. Yeah, somebody was inquiring about like what's like the best kind of Tunisian crochet hooks. My personal recommend was a Tunisian hook with a cord so that you can make a nice long piece. Um, um, Clover Tunisian cable stoppers. Yeah, I mean, as long as you have like a nice long cable on it, you know, it enables you to make your piece as wide or as narrow as you want to. You know, like I wouldn't recommend necessarily using the just like the solid long uh, Tunisian hooks because unless if you're doing a scarf, you know, you're kind of limited. But anyway, um, yeah. So it's been my goodness, it has been about an hour now. So best hook is, like I said, corded. Yeah, because you aren't limited. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like fancy, but yeah, you want a cord on it. Um, so yeah, it's been about an hour, so I figure, you know, I'm about to turn into a pumpkin. You know, and I just, you know, I wanted to touch base with you guys, little chit chat, you know, see how everybody's doing, you know, and like I said, I would like to make the live streams a semi-regular thing, not necessarily every week, but I would like to do them more regularly than I had, if that's fair, you know. And that's kind of, you know, where I am with that. And you know, so I hope everybody has a fabulous evening. And again, stay tuned for tomorrow's tutorial on loom knitting the garter stitch. It's a lot of fun. It's really not hard. And you know, it's nice and versatile. And the best part is it lays flat. It doesn't curl. Big bonus. And of course, also one last time, Crochet Witch on the 27th, Monday. Please be there or be square. Please give the channel a visit, say hello, and join in on the charity live stream. So, all that being said, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Thank you so much. You made my evening. And to those of you that donated, a big thank you to that as well. I really, really appreciate your support and your generosity. It means the world to me. Thank you. And yeah, so until next time, you guys have a fabulous evening. Stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, stay safe, take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.